From stories across the globe to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir.
Hello there, good evening. I'm Nikets Karnaratna. We'll start off with the headlines as usual.
The President appreciates those excelled in the industrial sector. New investment center to enhance procurement facilities. Measures are underway to set up 25 tourist destination villages this year. The plantation labour praises the government for providing them wheat flour at subsidised prices. A circular relating to the fact that PCR tests are not mandatory for post-mortem inquiries has been released. Ukraine commemorates the Solidarity Day.
On to those and other stories in detail. Today is Navam Full Moon Poya Day, which marks many important events in the Buddha Sasana. Religious programs have been organised island-wide at temples while following health protective measures. It is on a full moon Poya Day like today that the Buddha made Saryut and Mugalan Arahants as his chief disciples. History states that the first conference for Buddhist monks took place at Veluvanarama on a Navam full moon Poya Day. The history of the Buddha Sasana further states that the preaching of a sermon for the benefit of Buddhist monks and the Buddha leaving his birth circle took place on a day like today. The 219th Dhamma sermon of the Amadam Sisila series of sermons organised on every Poya Day on a concept of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa took place today at the Temple Trees. The sermon was delivered by Dean of the Faculty of Postgraduate Studies of the Sri Lanka Buddhist and Pali University and Chief Incumbent of the Sri Bodhirukkaramaya, Venerable Professor Murugallagama Uparatana Thera. The Prime Minister, Mrs. Shiranti Rajapaksa, artists and nursing officials were present to listen to the sermon. At the end of the Dhamma sermon, Sinhala translation of the original copy of the Confucius philosophy book titled Lunya and the Analytics of Confucius was presented to the Prime Minister. The Sinhala translation of the book titled Confucius Ge Adharya has been written by President of the Chinese Languages Cultural Centre, Shastripati Rajakiya Pandita Venerable Sandamadulle Sumanasara Thera was presented to the Prime Minister. Chief Incumbent of Sri Hat Bodhi Viharaya in Narahampita, Colombo Shastrapati Venerable Galagama Dhammaransi Thera, and a graduate of the Chinese Languages and Cultural University, Ranga Matthew Veeraratna, was also present.
කෙලෙහිගුණ සැලකීමක් හැටියට මේ ජනතාව මේ රටේ ඉන්න පිරිස අද වගේ මේ වගේ පුරපසළොස්වක් පොහොය දවසක මේ විදිහ නිදහසේ මේ බණ අහන්නේ මේ රටේ ගමන් බිමන් යන්නේ එදා ඒ අසහාය නායකත්වයෙන් යුක්තව කටයුතු කරපු අපේ ඒ ජනාධිපතිතුමන් නිසා.
Meanwhile, Sadharma Varsha Navam Poya Day programs organised by Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation was telecast live throughout the day from the Sri Jayavardhana Ram Raja Mahavihara in Kote Road, Colombo 8. It included many programs, including observing of Sil, sermons and Dhamma discussions. Chief Sanganayaka of Western and Galle provinces and head of the Vidyadaya Pirivena, Maligakanda Darshanapati, Venerable Balangoda Sobita Thera, and Chief Judicial Sanganayaka of the Western Province and Chief Incumbent of Sri Bodhiraja Rame Uyana Road, Lunava Moratua, Venerable Professor Agalakada Sirisumana Thera, and Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Sonala Gunavardhana, participated in the Dhamma discussion.
The annual Navam Mahaperihara of the Ganga Rama Viharya in Hunapitiya, Colombo commenced yesterday. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa presided over the event. The Prime Minister, upon engaging in religious observances at the Viharya, placed a casket of sacred relics on the majestic elephant. Thereafter, floral tributes were placed. The event has been organised under the patronage of Venerable Dr. Kirinda Sajithera of the Viharya. Former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Ministers Chamal Rajapaksa, Namal Rajapaksa and Bandulu Gunawardena were also present.
The National Industrial Awards presentation for excellence was held at the Water's Edge in Battaramulla yesterday. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has presided over the event. The theme for this year's award ceremony has been an industrial revival that gives vigour to the nation. The event is being organised annually by the Industrial Development Board. 117 professionals of excellence selected from all 9 provinces in the island were felicitated on this occasion. These professionals have been selected through competition to select the most excellent entrepreneur, as well as through the Industrial Sri Lanka 2022 National Handicraft Industrial Exhibition. Excellent industrialists in the fields of best machinery production in small, medium and large-scale manufacturing establishments were given the Platinum Award. The gold and bronze medals have also been handed over in relation to 20 large, medium and small-scale industries. 3 excellent industrialists in the motor vehicle assembling manufacturing, as well as 3 state sector companies, have also been presented with Special Appreciation Awards. Minister Vimal Veeravansha said on this occasion that the local industries have been subjected to a revival at present as never before in the history of the country. Minister Vimal Veeravansha said that they could become proud of the achievements made amidst the challenges. He added that originally there were only 3 industrialists in the vehicle assembling industry. This number has increased to either 11 or 13 today. The value-added process in the industrial sector is advancing day by day. The tile industry has shown a progress due to the government's decision to halt the importation of tiles. He added that more than 80% of the raw materials for the tile production at the tile processing factory in Agalavatta are being procured locally. A group including Secretary to the Ministry of Industries, Dayarat Nayaka, were also present.
A new investment centre is to be established for supply facilities with the objective of making Sri Lanka a centre in the amalgamation of supplies. The centre is to be located in Ekala Jayala. The Urban Development and Housing Ministry says the plans have been made on the instructions of the Prime Minister. With the setting up of the new investment centre, foreign exchange exceeding $50 million is expected to be earned through provision of storage facilities within the first 10 years of activity. The centre is to be named as Logistic Park Jayala. A sum of 2.2 million rupees is being utilised for the establishment of the information centre. It will provide 800 direct employment opportunities, including jobs through deployment of 500 trucks, as well as 300 indirect job opportunities in the procurement industries. There will be also a lodging facilities to more than 300 employees, along with A-grade office, recreation, cafeteria and other installations. The other objectives include sea and air transportation of goods and encouragement of multinational companies to set up operations in Sri Lanka.
Measures are underway to establish 25 new tourist destination villages this year under the Saubhagya Gammana project. The aim is to enhance the economy of the people living in the vicinity of tourist attractions. 10 million rupees is being spent for the setting up of one tourist destination village. The selection of the relevant villages is being carried out through joint collaboration of the Ministry of Tourism, Tourism Development Authority and State Ministry on Samurdhi, Domestic Economy, Microfinance, Self-Employment, Entrepreneur Development and Least Developed Ventures. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has presided over the discussion at the Tourism Ministry yesterday. He said on this occasion that the aim is to distribute the benefits of tourism industry from self-employed persons to large-scale entrepreneurs. Many government officials were also present at the discussion. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has instructed airport authorities to take immediate measures to minimize congestion at airport and to provide incoming tourists as the tourism sector is gradually progressing to normalcy. The minister was engaged in an observational tour at the airport premises today. He said that a situation has been created now for the arrival of 100,000 tourists to the island a month. He added that this situation would be further improved to 200,000 shortly. 50,000 tourists were reported to have arrived in Sri Lanka since the beginning of this month until yesterday. The airport sources say that the daily arrival of tourists is closer to 5,000. The The minister further said that the first eye contact of incoming tourists is the Katunayaka airport, and therefore this place should be an enchanting place to the foreigners.
Provision of wheat flour at concessionary prices to the plantation labour under the government's relief package has commenced. Accordingly, 15 kilos of wheat flour at the price of 80 rupees per kilo are being provided to every estate family on a monthly basis. Accordingly, 115,867 labour families island-wide are being benefited. Stocks comprising of 15 kilo bags of wheat flour were distributed among plantation labour families in Hatton and Norwood yesterday. Meanwhile, tea plantation companies deduct 80 rupees monthly from the salary of plantation labour and credit this amount to the Ministry of Estate Infrastructure Facilities. The required quantity of wheat flour are being distributed via cooperative societies. The plantation labour has appreciated the steps taken by the government to provide them a kilo of wheat flour for 80 rupees at a time when the current market price of a kilo of wheat flour is 145 rupees. Stocks of wheat flour being provided under the government's subsidy program for plantation labourers in Valimada and Uvaparanagama were handed over to the storages of the Valimada Multipurpose Cooperative Society today. The stock comprised of 12,250 kilos of wheat flour. The distribution of relief subsidy to the estate labourers in Valimada is scheduled to commence tomorrow.
The government's paddy purchasing program is being implemented successfully in every district. Adequate storage facilities have been provided. Harvesting in paddy in Suryavava in Kantale is taking place. The common amenities, Army Subdivision in Alla Kantale, have engaged in paddy cultivation using organic fertilizer. Paddy has been grown in more than 100 acres of barren land. Commanding officer of the Kantale Alla Army Subunit, Colonel Ravindra Megarachi, says that they were able to reap a harvest of around 90 bushels of paddy from an acre. The necessary organic fertilizer requirement is being processed by the army officials themselves. Paddy purchasing in the Kantale Agrarian Project is also taking place. Paddy has been cultivated in 30 acres of land. The farmers say that they are receiving a higher price as the government has increased the payments for purchasing of paddy stocks. The Paddy Marketing Board has commenced purchasing paddy in Malulia Damana in Kurunagala. Nearly 3 million kilos of paddy have already reached the stores. The PMB is taking adequate measures for storage facilities.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has presided over the 9th National Conference of All Ceylon Professional Lecturers Association at the Nelumpukana Mahinda Rajapaksa Theatre this afternoon. The All Ceylon Professional Lecturers Association is an organization formulated in the year 2004 with the amalgamation of tuition class teachers groups scattered throughout the island. Nearly 3,500 members comprising of university lecturers, professors and government school teachers represent the organization. The annual election of office bearers of association was also conducted today. In addition, the Green T-shirt was also unveiled. The president has presented souvenirs to 4 former presidents of the association as well as to another member. President of the All Ceylon Professional Lecturers Association, Amit Pusala, has also presented a souvenir to the president. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, state ministers and other parliamentarians were also present at the occasion.
Minister Chamal Rajapaksa says there would not have been any needs for power cutbacks at present had work in the Umayo project been completed. He made these remarks participating in a ceremony held in connection with provision of land permits and allowances in the Hambantota Divisional Secretariat Division. The event took place at the Administrative Complex Auditorium of Ruhunumagama Pura. Land permits have been provided to 273 families upon inspections under full supervision of the Southern Province Land Department. The aim of the government is to provide the land with clear title deeds to every citizen under the Vision of Prosperity program of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa said that the long-term plans have been made, but unfortunately in the past 5 years all of them have been suspended. The Umayo project was scheduled to be completed by November 2015. Had the Umayo work been completed by November 2015, there would not have been any need for power cutbacks today. The Umayo project anticipated to generate 120 megawatts of electricity. Due to the delay in the implementation of the project, the government was compelled to incur a huge expenditure. The Umayo is an underground power generation project. The minister further said that they are hoping to complete the Umaoy project by May of this year.
A new circular has been issued to the effect that it is not compulsory to have PCR tests in post-mortems. According to the circular issued by the Director General of Health Services, any post-mortem inquiries could be conducted according to the wishes of a judicial medical officer. The health divisions point out that the majority of COVID-19 patients being admitted to hospitals have not been subjected to proper inoculation. The mobile vaccination program organized by the Medical Corps of the Sri Lanka Army is being conducted continuously, centering on all districts. A booster vaccination program was conducted in front of the Sri Dalata Maligava in Kandy today as well. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 25 COVID-19 related deaths which have occurred yesterday. 19 of the fatalities were of the age of 60 and above, while the remaining 6 victims were between the ages of 30 and 59 years.
The World Health Organization said today that a new wave of infections from the highly transmissible Omicron variant of coronavirus is heading towards the Eastern Europe, urging authorities to improve vaccination and other measures. Meanwhile, COVID-19 has infected more than 514 million people and has led to 5.8 million deaths globally. The World Health Organization has called for authorities to boost vaccination efforts in the region, warning that a tidal wave of infections is approaching. The World Health Organization's Europe Regional Director, Hans Klug, has said that the number of new daily COVID-19 cases has more than doubled in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Georgia, Russia and Ukraine during the past 2 weeks. Hans Klug said that the 53-country region has tallied more than 165 million confirmed coronavirus cases and 1.8 million deaths, including 25,000 in the last week alone. He has emphasized that the variant is circulating widely among 10 eastern member states, while stressing that vaccine uptake is still relatively low in parts of the region. The organization has called on governments to devise tailored interventions to increase vaccination rates urgently. Meanwhile, Singapore has reported a record of 19,179 daily COVID-19 infections during the past 24 hours. That's all the news for today. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Have a pleasant night.